Welcome, my friends, another edition of LatiNation Football Club. I am your host, Marcelino Ortiz, and I'm here with El Chiva Mayor and a guest of honor, my good friend, Rodney Wallace. How are you, my friend? Thank you for being here.
I'm great. Good to have you guys here. Good to be here. It's nice. It's nice to be able to share the stage with my fellow Latinos. It's good for what we're growing as individuals in the entertainment business. It feels good to be in this environment. So thank you. Beautiful stage, too.
Awesome.
Beautiful
Thank
studio.
you. Thank you for being here, Rodney. It's a legend of Costa Rica. You played in MLS, champion in MLS. We are going into the World Cup. I know that you might be slightly sad because Costa Rica kind of fumbled the bag. As Mexicans,
Tears.
As Mexicans, I have to apologize for El Piojo.
Thank you for that. I'll accept that apology.
I have to apologize for him. He comes from America, and we don't claim them in this show at all.
Okay.
So
Who do you claim?
I claim Pumas, and
right.
obviously
Chivas.
Okay.
Chiva Mayor. So that aside,
Yes.
what is the future looking like for Costa Rica? We saw that several Central American teams had a golden opportunity. Now, given that Mexico, the U.S., and Canada had already passed, they wouldn't be on the qualifier, and they fumbled the bag to the benefit of the Caribbean teams. What is going on with CONCACAF and the Central American countries in specific?
Well, you brought up the good fact about El Piojo. He was not the right manager for Costa Rica. Costa Rica, in my opinion, fumbled a lot of opportunities to make it to the World Cup. I don't think that Costa Rica, along with some teams in some countries in CONCACAF, I don't think they respected the opportunity to go to the World Cup. And there is a sense of pride. There's a sense of safety that some teams had, but there wasn't enough of that. Well, this is the biggest stage of the world. We have got to make it. Just because Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. are not in it, it's going to be a walk in the park. And unfortunately, Costa Rica learned the hard way. Honduras learned the hard way. And now you have national teams like Curaçao. Now you have Haiti qualifying. You have Nicaragua that isn't in the World Cup, but they were giving teams the business too. Yeah. So you have to respect it. When you put on that shirt, when you put on that armor, there's a saying, don't give up your shirt. Don't give up that jersey, because once you put it on, once you see it in your locker room, you put that jersey on and it's your first cap, hold on to it. Hold on to it, because there's weight with that jersey, there's weight with that shirt, and it's not just for you, it's for your family that you're representing, for the country in general, especially like a country like Costa Rica, where there's no army, there's no navy. Like, it almost feels as if we are the soldiers. So we have a duty to perform and a duty to our country, and that's get to the World Cup. I can't imagine the kids in Costa Rica, or the fans, 2026 World Cup in the United States, in Canada, in Mexico, and we're not able to see and live and ponernos la roja, and it's hard.
It is hard.
It's
It
hard.
is hard. And especially because it comes from a place that it seems hard now for the Central American countries to compete with what's happening in the Caribbean, right? They are lucky enough to have so many players participating in lower division leagues in Europe.
Yeah.
But that is already a big gap between, Central American competitions. What can be done, and what teams like Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras can do to try to stay competitive in the future?
The infrastructure, we can talk about money. We can talk about that, okay? But where does that money come from? It comes from the younger generations, the U17s, the U20 World Cup, the tournaments that happen in between, the Gold Cups, confederations, whatever it may be. Those are big competitions that allow you to compete, get money, put the money back into your development, allow those young teams to go, push those teams to go to the World Cup, put the best coaches into that stage of development from a young age, and then you watch them thrive. Then a U17 player is making it into the round of 8 in the World Cup, and now he's being scouted, now he's going to France. And then that whole generation, 6 of them, they go to Europe. One of them goes to Portugal. Another one goes to Belgium. Then comes the U20 World Cup. There's a pack of them. There's a core. Then the new generation comes in, un poquito de sorpresas here and there, players that sneak in from the local league. Next thing you know, in the U20 World Cup, we got 4 players that are being now sold. Those players that were in those clubs in Belgium, Portugal, Holland, they get sold to bigger clubs in Europe. But there has to be that infrastructure, that system, that ecosystem, that pipeline that takes the young players to bigger clubs early enough, because you can't have your best players playing at 23 years old, 21 years old, killing it in the local league.
Chiva, you can speak a little bit to that, because exactly I think that what's happening in Mexico for the longest time is that you got great players that end up getting their first cap at 20-something, because that's how Mexican League. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have the under 17. There are potential when it comes to World Cups. We have won several of them, play a couple of them, and then you got the under 20s having great tournaments. But then when it comes to the Primera División, you got a lot of players now that come from other countries that are playing, that are taking the spots for the kids. And I think that ecosystem that you're talking about is hurting the Mexican national team. It's hurting the future of footballers in Mexico, because they get a chance until they're 22, 23, 24, which is too old already, I
mean, there's jokes on the internet right now, memes saying that Memo Ochoa will come out of nowhere.
And he will.
And that is the thing, and that's exactly...
Kaylor came back for Costa Rica, he'll come back. The World Cup is here. There's something about it where you see Neymar's trying to do everything he can to be at the World Cup, but there's the essence of this World Cup being something that players don't want to miss out on.
You've been in a World Cup. How's that experience when you're there and you're representing your country? How does it break down?
So the dream starts when you're first born. They tell you, this is your pathway, please. Yeah. No. So it starts as a child. You're a fan of the game and you breathe it, you love it. Sundays, to turn on the TV. Saturday, you're watching every game possible. In between games, you're going outside to play with your friends. For me personally, it wasn't about I needed to make it pro. I didn't need to make it pro. I enjoyed being Rodney Wallace. Now, as I got older, I moved to the United States at 10, to Maryland. I needed to find a team. So then my mom sees an ad in the newspaper, boom, find a team, great group of kids. Then my little club career takes off. And again, it was never like, if I don't practice at 6 in the morning, no way, you gotta ser profesional. It wasn't like that. It was just playing, which is different than the kids now. Yeah. We can talk about that later. But then we go into the collegiate stage, and then now it's, okay, you have the opportunity to go to college. There were talks about me potentially going pro at 17 or something. Stay in high school. My parents, stay in school. Went to college, had 2 great seasons, national championship in Maryland, ACC. Then it's draft time. Get picked 6th by DC United, which is the hometown team. This is a dream. I mean, I still to this day, sometimes I look at my wife and I'm like, can you believe that I was really the hometown kid, You need to take pride in it now. Before you're trying to be humble, but it's the hometown kid story. Get traded to Portland. 5 years later, we win a MLS Cup. Before that, in 2012, I had gotten my first cap with Costa Rica. Jorge Luis Pinto as my coach. My first call-up was with Álvaro Saborío. He was my roommate. So I was very blessed to be in those situations where I learned the game at a higher level with the national team. And then I came back to really understanding how to play. Instead of just being on the field and being fast and crossing and connecting, it was now you have to think how to play the game. So I credit a lot of the things that I've done in my career to Costa Rica and to the national team and for what that did to me.
And with that, we are forced to make a quick break on this conversation. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll continue talking about the importance of football in the life of Latinos here with Rodney Wallace and El Chiva Mayor. I'm your host, Marcelino Ortiz, and you're watching LatiNation Football Club.
or sell? Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
New York Giants, they fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Rodgers' season and maybe career comes to an end. But I want to start by saying this. We always go to the losing team, it feels like, first sometimes. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time on Pittsburgh. But I think Houston's live, right, man? Like, I mean, if they're going to play that kind of defense next week, they're going to beat New England too.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
And we are back, my friends. LatiNation Football Club está vestido de gala because we have Rodney Wallace here with us. We are continuing to talk to him about his story in the world of football and what he's doing today.
Now, you being an MLS player, because you're an MLS player, around the world, I hate to hear that they always talk about the fans, us, saying that we're fake, there's no passion in MLS, that, that we call it soccer, that we don't care about football.
There's no pressure.
There's no pressure. You being a footballer and one of the best teams in MLS history, and from back in the days, and also one of the best hinchadas in the MLS with the Timbers. Is that true? You as a player, how do you feel? Do you feel the pressure?
There's pressure. The Portland Timbers. First, the Portland Timbers and I had a great relationship that was real because I come in, I'm new, I'm hot, meaning I came in and I made some noise early on, and then had a pretty good season 2011. 2012, we were espantosos. We were no good. Then that's when the fans start to turn on you because they demand. They demand. There was only the Portland Blazers. And so we were, it's almost like being in Europe. It's a small town and there's a spotlight on you. So the pressure was pretty high. People know you around the street. It's not like you're playing for the Red Bull and you're just in New York City, nobody cares. It's Portland. Yeah. Portland Timbers, the Army, the stadium's green, gold. And then now you really have to start playing because if it's not working out for you, the fans want somebody new. And they'll express it and in the best ways possible, but it's the reality. And then it's really about, as a player, you gotta get in there, and if you really want it, then you really want it. You break through that barrier, and I stuck with it. 2013, Caleb Porter came in and shook up the whole system, and that's when he introduced really tiki-taka, when he brought in Diego Valeri, completely changed the face of the club. And that's when it's almost like it was a revival of my true identity and skill. At this time, I was a regular face for the national team, so there was a lot more. There was growth for me, right? The fans see where I'm at, and then we were back again. Like, all right, yeah, they accept you. Then you score the winning. Then I get the winning goal in the MLS Cup, and it's our names are forever etched in the history book. So that's a very loyal fan base.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And you have to, as a player, be loyal to the fans in terms of what you give them. Regardless of what they say on the internet, what you give as a player is what you'll receive. So if you don't acknowledge that or you don't sign the autographs, they'll recognize, yes or no, right?
Yeah,
Usted sabe king is king.
Yeah.
You can't hide from that. But with that being said, la hinchada de LAFC, one of the biggest ones, if not becoming, it's getting up there. It's getting really up there. From the beginning, though, very solid. How did you guys turn something that had started as a team of stars and then really combining the fan experience without it being fake, with it being authentic, with it connecting with the city?
It was the other way around.
Okay.
It was first the fans and then the players.
Love that.
And we started from 2015, going street by street, block by block, convincing people that this is a team for Los Angeles, that this was going to be a team that represent our beloved city, and the connection that we were able to find with the fans. Because you got fans from all over, all over the world. For example, Salvadorans and Mexicans, when it comes to football, there's a real hate in there.
Yeah.
We managed to find a formula of convincing them that this is a team that represents us as Angelinos. Whether you were born here or not, that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we're still Angelinos. So that's how we started. Why was it so strong? We followed the steps of, like the Timbers Army. We understood that we had to work under an umbrella name, which is the 3252, and that was going to make a huge difference into what you see right now. That safe standing was a big plus, because you want your hinchada to be able to stand up, dance around, and do what we do.
There's no seating.
Yeah.
No seating.
Standing only. That was a lot of pressure from the fans, talking during the development of the stadium, that they were like, we need this in MLS, because that's the way that we show that we're committed. Now, we have a new champion. Miami is the new champion.
Okay.
Messi is MVP for the second time in a row.
Convincing.
Convincing, yeah.
He fulfilling the prophecy. That's like what I like to call it. But
Meeting the expectations.
meeting the expectations. I think that we as people that love the sport and love MLS, we are the first one that have to keep the bar so high for a person like him. As a player, he has to come and perform at a higher level. Now, we have a lot of eyes towards the U.S., to the development of soccer in the U.S., and have a World Cup in 6 months. Do you feel that we have all the ingredients for this World Cup to be a success? Or, like many journalists are starting to rumble, are we seeing the beginning of the change for the World Cup at large?
It's the World Cup in Mexico, which is massive.
Yep.
It's a celebration. It's a celebration of football. The one thing that dominates, the one sport that dominates Mexican heritage, Mexican culture,
Soccer.
Football.
El fútbol.
And you go to Canada. Canada, as a national team, they're doing better.
Wow.
They're doing better. Great. Now you got the United States. One of the biggest stages in the world. If you don't live in the United States, the goal is to come to the United States to experience it, whether you're on vacation, whether you want to support your team, whether you want to live here and get away from wherever you are. It's the United States. Okay, so then you got the infrastructure, you got the stadiums, right? You got the facilities, so that's beautiful. Then you got the size of the stadiums, how many people can come support you. If you are Colombia and you're playing, for example, I'm not sure yet on the schedule, Colombia, if you're playing in New Jersey, or Colombia, you're playing in Miami, the stadium's yellow.
Yep.
Okay, so we have to take under considerations those factors, that there are a lot of immigrants in the United States that are going to show up for their countries in those specific cities. So I think it's a very smart play. If you're in Europe and the World Cup is in Europe or Qatar, there's scattered groups and they're fans and they traveled over there. But here, I mean, you have culture. So for me, it's going to be one of the best World Cups to date.
That's right, Rodney. Unfortunately, we have to go on a break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll continue this amazing conversation, sobre todo lo que hace que el fútbol sea bonito. Don't go anywhere. You're watching LatiNation Football Club.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Dable. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Rodgers' season and maybe career comes to an end. But I want to start by saying this. We always go to the losing team, it feels like, first sometimes. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time on Pittsburgh. But I think Houston's live, right, man? Like, I mean, if they're going to play that kind of defense next week, they're going to beat New England too.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kwan Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
And we are back from break, my friends. This is LatiNation Football Club. I'm your host, Marcelino Ortiz. I'm here with Chiva Mayor and Rodney Wallace, and we are breaking down what is going to happen on the upcoming World Cup. That's right.
For me, it's going to be one of the best World Cups to date.
Now,
what's your opinion on it?
Oh, I agree with you. And not just the best World Cup, but it's also going to set up a stone for MLS to become what we all want to see, right?
Yeah.
No salary cap, better players coming in, the teams being able to use different brands on the jerseys, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's only going to help us grow more here in the United States. And when it comes to the World Cup, I think having more teams, we talked about it the other day, it's only going to help for the rest of the world to enjoy what we have enjoyed, which is a World Cup. Whether
the pride of having your team play.
Yeah, even if they don't win, even if they don't score one goal, the fact that they're there representing your country, that's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Now, let me put you guys on the spot. Your top 4 teams in the World Cup. Who are going to make the semifinals?
France, Inglaterra, Morocco.
See.
People are rooting for them, right?
No, I'm telling you. I've been rooting on Morocco
They're doing
week after week. I'm telling you guys, Morocco is a team to be careful with. I can already see Suavecito Crespo heart about to break.
¿Por qué? Porque no voy a decir
No, because you're not going to have Argentina.
I'm not. I'm not, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we love it.
It's okay. To be fair, can the U.S. get to that level, that stage?
I mean, this is the best opportunity that they will ever have to make it. I mean, after what we saw versus Uruguay, a solid team with a solid coach, there's some hope to be had.
I think that the U.S., what it has is already a core of players that are exceptional in Europe.
Yes.
What Costa Rica didn't have was players. They had some players in Europe, but they weren't exceptional. They weren't key figures for their teams.
Yeah.
They will be key figures in the 2030 World Cup. That's Costa Rica's chance. The U.S., in my opinion, has a chance to do it now if they develop the right culture within the next 3 months and things are done in a faster way where now the U.S. understands, the players understand, we are the ones, the coach knows who to count on. The faster you move into that, I think the more success they will have, especially playing at home.
And the unique opportunity of being at home.
Yeah. Now, Chiva, your turn.
I mean, Argentina, Brazil, España, y Portugal.
Those are your top four.
Top four.
I'm going to go with Morocco because I've been following them, and I believe that they are. It's one team that people are sleeping because they're putting so much money behind it. They're building the biggest stadium in the world. The World Cup, the next World Cup is going to be in their home turf. This team already played at a really high level the last World Cup, and they have players that are great. So Morocco is at the top of my list. Spain, because I believe that the core group of players is still very tough to beat, and they can flip any game in a matter of seconds, that we have seen when they play with Barcelona or they play with Real Madrid. They just take very little for them to change the game. I think France has also a chance to be there because still some of the best players of the world. And finally, my dark horse definitely going to be Norway. Yeah. I think Norway, it's a team that they have a machine. They have a different player, a player that they are the only country that has a striker at that level of that tenacity. And you being a striker, you know that a player like him can change a game on his own.
Yeah, I was a striker and I was also a left back, and so I see the difficulty in marking somebody like Haaland. There's no player in the world that can do what he does, and any country that plays against Norway, regardless of what it is, you're going to have a hard time because he's going to try to find the back of the net within the first 6 seconds, no matter what, and they'll live in that environment for the whole 98 minutes, just constant. Haaland, Haaland, Haaland. These African nations, it's Senegal that's playing Norway, for example. Senegal moved the ball well. Senegal, good football IQ, organized. We can talk about speed and strength and all of that, but they're quality national teams. They're big players. They'll hold you back. They'll hold Norway. They'll keep them accountable. If it's 0-0, 1-1 within those 68 to 75 minutes, Haaland is still going no matter what. It's still going no matter what. Because you wanted me to say, they'll wear you down until, bro, Haaland is right there. So there's no escaping him.
Awesome. Rodney, thank you so much for your analysis, for being here. Chiva, you as well, my friend. And we're going to be here every Friday, every week, sharing with you football, el deporte más bonito. That's right. And we want to thank you, the MVP of our team, for choosing to be here with us every week. Yo soy Marcelino Ortiz, and I'll see you next week.
The outline for Koepka are fantastic. I think it's perfect. It is punitive, but it's fair. You've got to levy some sort of fine, so to speak, for defecting, and I think they've done a wonderful job of being equitable and punishing him a bit at the same time. I think Brooks ultimately wants to be playing with the best.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.